Hello everybody, I got a terrible live to do. I have no choice but to do it now. You're probably not going to hear about this in the media. You're definitely not going to get the stats, and it is just awful. Jonathan Wilkinson, our environmental minister here for the Liberal Party of Canada, plus Joe Biden have now rolled out their environmental commitment for the next year. I need everybody to get this out. You're going to be able to fact check everything I'm saying right now. For those of you who want to go on the government websites, you will find everything I roll out here today in this presentation absolutely factual. So Jonathan Wilkinson and Joe Biden are rolling out a ban on all internal combustion engines coming in this administration 2021. And I'm going to tell you what that means for each and every one of you. Just in Alberta stats alone, I know the Canadian stats, but I'm not going to go there. This is for all Albertans, this presentation. So, they say they want to ban the internal combustion engine. That's going to roll out here in 2021. They say that the electric car is going to come forward, priced at about $30,000 to start with a plain Jane electric car, all the way up to starting at $70,000 for the average pickup truck if it's presented by 2022. So you all know, a charging station that you would need at your home in your garage runs at about $5,000. So with install and everything else, the new electric run-in, something like getting, for all of you who have single attached housing and you've applied for a garage package and had that concrete pad poured or had the electrical run, you're looking at about $13,000. Okay? In Statistics Canada 2016, 61% of Alberta families with all extended living families were in single unit detached garage housing. That was 2016. That means 39% in that year would not be able to have an electric car, at least not a place to store and charge it overnight. So you are all cut out of this new reality. But that's not the stats today. It's not Statistics Canada that's coming out in March, but thankfully we have those Alberta statistics today. And did you know, year after year, since 2016, we all know this agenda in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Calgary, Alberta. We know that the radical immigration and housing concepts of what's being built today, 7.5% of all new housing has gone to all apartment or condominium type dwellings where there's absolutely not going to be any electric car charging stations at all. Not for everybody. They're absolutely down now, but just between 2016 to now 2020, you can go on the Alberta stats for yourself. I have all of them. I will be doing a write-up post this. It won't be done for several days. I just don't have the time right now as I'm on other things. But we are at only 41% of Albertans have the capacity, in whether attached or detached garage, to have a charging station for an electric car, which requires anywhere from 4 to 6 hours if you require a pickup for the type of work and rugged use you're going to need for your job or your industry or where you're going in Alberta, just to be able to transport there. Only 41% of Albertans have the capacity to even go with this, at probably a cost starting at $90,000. Most people can't afford that, even in the 41%. We are literally down to only 20% of Albertans are going to be able to go forward over the age of 18 in that scenario. The rest, absolutely the rest, will be stuck to public transportation, relying only on busing, transit. That is all you're going to have in the new Joe Biden, Jonathan Wilkinson Canada. Rural Alberta will likely be the only benefactors to the new electric vehicle and the new rates. So if you don't own your own residential property, which you're still going to have to come up with probably a minimum of 90,000, possibly upwards of 150,000 if you have somebody else in the household that wishes to drive. $150,000 for just two people to drive in any household. The statistics clearly show that is not the case. Your children will be bound to you and your ability, the family car, the family electric truck. That is all you're going to have. So you're not going to be able to administer for trucking or transportation or commuting to get your other household members to work. It's going to limit you, extremely limit you. So you're going to have to move into those big cities and accept the public transportation at extreme costs presented to you. This is the new direction. Canada, in its massive, massive territorial coverage, is going, even though it absolutely does not benefit or even make sense for a region like Alberta, let alone the rest of Canada. It is absolutely all about the big major cities, the growing upward cities where you're not going to be able to drive. Within 5 years, most Canadians will not have access to having their own vehicle as the internal combustion engine becomes more and more scarce, as things break down, and if you can't keep your vehicle running, as we watch automotive shops disappear as the electric vehicle comes on board, most people will not have access to it because they will not have the overnight charging stations. They're not going to be mass apartment complexes or townhouses with $5,000 outdoor charging stations where you park if they're not vandalized or wrecked, and we just won't have the infrastructure to even put into place something like that, let alone an outdoor, out to the general public, kids wrecking it, vandals coming, or just the capacity to administer 250 kilowatt charging stations per each unit. Never going to happen, let alone having everybody in a condo, apartment, high-rise have one. It just won't happen. You're going to find that you've been cut out of the Green New Deal. And that is exactly what they want. Reducing you to living within a 15-kilometer radius, finding a job, regardless of your skill set, within a 15-kilometer radius of where you live. If you don't believe this is 100% true, check out the stats yourself. Look at what Jonathan Wilkinson and Joe Biden are presenting forward in the Green New Deal for at least Canada and the United States of America. The radical green agenda, which is the new red, the new USSR on steroids right here in Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau's America. And if you don't believe me, check out Jonathan Wilkinson's live press release today. It's there. You'll all find it. Share. Get this video out. The stats I will publish. I'm just extremely busy over the next 4 days. I just don't have the time to put it together for all of you. I have it. I will release it. You're all going to get to see it. And you're all going to find that 80% of you are not in the Green New Deal. It's a wealthy plan to put all of you down on this level, below the poverty line. That's where you're all going to end up. You don't exist in Justin Trudeau and Joe Biden's Green New America. The new red, the new communism, the new globalism. That's reality. Sorry, folks. Nenshi, Iveson, they're building the cities up. That means an end to the single unit dwelling. If, like I said, many of you who do have a single unit dwelling can afford the $150,000 conversion just to have two of you drive, good luck. Many old garages will not be able to run the electrical, run the stations in. They won't be able to set it up. They're going to have to gut your foundations, run lines. It's a terrible, terrific cost just to have an electric vehicle to be able to get around independently. Like I said, over 80% of us don't exist in the Green New Deal, the new red. Green is the new red. It's absolutely not for the average Joe Jane. And you have been absolutely abandoned in the new America. As sick as that is, that's your radical Democrats, your radical Liberals, your radical NDP, and it looks like CPC is absolutely no different. We are not the UK. We are not a small region densely populated, or a Hong Kong. This works for Toronto. This may work somewhat for Edmonton and Calgary, but not for the vast majority. And even in those mass, dense populated areas, most will never drive. This is what they've done to you, with absolutely no say from the general population. This is what's been elected and put forward. If you don't see it, you're going to see it in the next 4 years. You are going to be left behind. You are going to get used to a guaranteed basic income, not a part of the New World Order, the new agenda, administered none other than your North American officials in supposedly the most democratic countries in the world. It's a joke. It's a lie. You're being groomed for the New World Order, where you don't have a place in it. That's a fact. And these are real stats that aren't being provided to you, but you're all going to find out. Thanks. Have a great day. Get used to having to borrow 150 grand if you want a his and hers driving team, because that's all you get. Bye now.